him on the content creation side, but let's see him on the field.
I also have it going 5, but I got it going Spuda's way. We say Spuda. It's not like Riddles is just a nobody here. You got a lot of talent on the side of Cal State Fullerton. We'll see if North Texas can hang with them as D-Bank will dribble around Riddles. Don't expect that to happen very often this season, and Too Fast is indeed speedy, and he gets the opening goal 19 seconds in.
A quick one here from Too Fast, just waiting for an opportunity. Danny with an aggressive challenge, but Spuda a little bit late to the follow. But like you said, Too Fast is there to punish. First goal going to UNT.
Big one for North Texas. They had an early lead against LSU last night, and then things went south in a hurry. Spuda chasing this one to the corner. It gets D-Bank, and he gets kind of nudged away from the play. So Too Fast will try and get through Riddles and Danny, and does so, but also left the ball behind. So now Spuda just trying to tap dance his way through. Finally, Danny comes up to play, and we'll see if Riddles can get onto this. He certainly does, but it's right at D-Bank.
That's a solid redirect, too, from Riddles. He's a little bit higher, can give some more power on it. Could be a more dangerous shot, but you are starting to see that speed come out from him. Just have to be careful on some of these touches that we're seeing from CSUF. Again, they're giving a lot of space here to North Texas, and we've seen in that opening goal just how ready they are to jump on top of the ball.
It may be very early on in the season, but matches like this between teams that we expect to be very close in the standings carry so much weight because game differential absolutely becomes a factor. We've seen in past CRL seasons, teams have been out of it because of a lackluster game differential very early on. D-Bank, after the demolition by Too Fast, doubles the lead for North Texas.
And Too Fast is upfield, and I like the decision here to go for the demo on Spuda. Smoke screen for D-Bank to shoot at, and the defense cannot guess where the ball goes. UNT, solid setup play for them. 2-goal lead.
North Texas answering the bell very early, but here goes Danny. Could have an advantage here as the ball's thrown in front, looking for Lucia, and instead, Lucia was so far up so quickly. This is a speed that Fullerton is not used to dealing with. Here goes Danny. Got Riddles at midfield, but that's sent away by D-Bank on his way back. The North Texas defense looks much stronger than they did on night one.
Yeah, they do. Especially with seeing how they've been able to play around California State. But a lot of time left in the game. No time for North Texas to get complacent. They're looking for a third goal, though, to really get put in a nice comfort zone.
Danny getting bumped, but still forces this through. It's a little wide. But this goes right at Spuda. And the shot goes all the way across to the opposite corner. Still an opportunity, but Riddles comes up empty. That's a huge miss from Cal State Fullerton as it relieves the pressure of what might have been their best chance at getting on the scoreboard early here.
Yeah, now they got to play in for the late game. Game halfway over. In California State, not too many shots on besides the one shot we saw from Riddles in the other early opener. That's all they've been able to do. Spuda doesn't get any time on that carry to even try to look for a double. Instantly demoed as he does. He's a target at this point for North Texas. I think he's been demoed at least 3 times in this game.
Got a big bullseye right on his hood. Looking for boost in the back corner, finding exactly none. Lucia lurking. Too Fast, long to the backboard. Spuda's got to get there with what little boost he had. Now D-Bank. Somebody's got to take over. It will be Danny for the Titans. Here goes Riddles. Oh, Danny might have been better served going after Too Fast. Instead, it results in an easy clear. And here come the mean green. Too Fast, like a missile, and blocked by Danny.
Lucia still trying to keep that in play, but he's a little too slow, so Spuda will be able to carry this out. Good back wall defense from him, and now maybe we can see California State move upfield. But look at that pass out, and Too Fast almost put a shot on. Instant transition for North Texas.
Lucia needed a double, didn't get it, so they might be able to break downfield quickly, but Riddles needed to go for boost. Danny needed to rotate back as well. Riddles now, tough angle, and he converts! Riddles, what a shot!
I did not think he had this. He gets the touch forward.
No way.
boosts straight into it, and he actually lands the goal. Spuda sets up a demo that makes the net wide open, and this game is within one.
It can happen that quickly. It can also happen this quickly, but Lucia just got that away from Spuda, who was charging on quick. This is still dangerous, and Too Fast has to make sure not to turn that ball back in further. Well, it's new life for the Cal State Fullerton Titans. Lobbed up in front again, but Lucia's got the clear. Going against Spuda, and he kept that ball in as well. Around D-Bag for Danny, and oh boy, Spuda's stuck in the net. Riddle's off the field. It is open season, and they're not going to get a goal out of it just yet.
Uh-oh. Now CSUF, they're trying to go on that transition. They need to go the length of the field. We at the final 10 seconds. Lucio on top of the ball, trying to get a 50 pass. Spuda does get one, but this one pops into the air. And will they even be able to control this? Spuda gets a piece of it, but that gets too far away from him. It's still up. Danny gets it through, trying to look for Riddle's midfield, but he is met at the post by North Texas, and they take game one.
Wow. Well, that game turned around in a hurry, and it almost came back to bite North Texas. They had a few opportunities that they let slip, especially right at the tail end when they had nobody on the blue half of the field and still could not score. Just the ball seemed like it took forever to get to a place where it was settled. So Cal State Fullerton, now this is odd. They have all decided, all right, we're out, new cars. It's a Scarab Gang coming in here for game two. Who knows with these guys?
Yeah, hopefully they get back in the lobby in time. But yeah, for those
CRL
guys,
is not a best of one.
Yeah, that was odd. But yeah, I mean, the game one for them, one of the things that I think was really interesting was that these guys didn't necessarily have too much consistent offensive pressure. They were able to get a goal off a nice counterattack play. Riddle took 2 shots, one of them went in. But for the only other thing they really did was just hold off North Texas for a little while. North Texas, again, you know, they saw a little bit of mistakes here from CSU, and they actually end up punishing those mistakes very well. But also, again, we saw a lot of demo plays in that game. Demos were a big factor for North Texas. They abused that, even down to the point of Too Fast ignoring a shot chance just so we can get a demo on Spuda, and then we saw a goal become of that. So North Texas seemed to have a solid recipe. It just seems like California State have to, you know, just kind of knock them off their mojo.
You know, we talk about Spuda a lot because, of course, very popular figure within the community, but Riddles, we saw on display right at the end of that game, a phenomenal young talent in the Rocket League scene. Now, I mean, it feels weird casting him in collegiate Rocket League because I can remember, you know, back in the old Nexus gaming days, back in, you know, 2016, 2017, we were seeing Riddles pop up in some of those community tournaments. And now, here we are, Riddles on center stage for Cal State Fullerton. His team down 1 in the series to North Texas. We'll see if anything changes here going into game 2 on Forbidden Temple.
Oh, it starts off with D-Bank with a shot. He won't be able to follow it up. North Texas almost came out with a lot of energy there. But they're able to clear away the danger. That's a high ball. Follow up. Oh, it's a double commit and no one scores it. That was a clear chance for California State to get on the board, and it rolls away.
Well, they're going to want that one back, but alas, we continue on. Spuda out of the corner, trying to get Lucia, trying to get Too Fast, getting neither, and watching his teammates rush all the way back to their own end. Spuda and Too Fast take each other off the field, so Danny can play this freely down to the corner. Riddles is there, and he whiffed. Oh boy, you cannot afford to make that mistake in this matchup.
Yeah, at this point, you got to get on top of the ball here. Start to see some more consistent challenges. But with this one, it's been pretty quiet, though, for North Texas. They haven't really been able to come up with much. Obviously, they had to manage the pressure from California State. But besides that, not necessarily. Besides the first shot chance we saw from D-Bank in the opening seconds, They haven't really been able to control possession. Lucia completely knocks that one off to the side. Too Fast will look to put a testing shot there, and Danny is ready to receive.
And he does get this out to midfield where Spuda can play it even further. Danny's still downfield, but you got to watch out for the speed of North Texas. They're not all that useful when they're off the field, though. Too Fast taken out, and Lucia takes over. Now D-Bank. They're in a tough spot right now. Starting to get starved out just a little bit. Danny doesn't quite turn around, and North Texas are going to get away with one. And now a double commit by Danny and Riddles, and this should be cleared by North Texas. It is, and look out, Too Fast almost got through Spuda.
Thankfully, Spuda back, though. Spuda does have that knowledge defensively to be able to make a stop like that, but you don't want to put him in a 1v3, you know, for the rest of the game. So for them, they have to honestly get a little bit more well-rounded in terms of communication. You'd think the team would be in form when they're all rocking dog fat profile pictures of their school logo, but we're still seeing a little bit of miscommunication, and Danny will get a save. Spuda will get a flick out, and they'll try to see if he can turn this around.
They tried a little hesitation move against D-Bank. Didn't work out, but that does. Riddles goes right down Broadway, and it's Cal State in front.
And he jumps up with 37 boosts, gets a lot of speed on it. No one looking out for Riddles, and you said he's a player to watch. Does so with that goal, at least puts his name on the map. First goal for California State.
May not last very long, but Danny does get the clear, getting that out of harm's way, and this should be bombed away as well. It is in the direction of Riddles, but he didn't have the read. Now Spuda, hard out of the corner. Too Fast, got to get there, and he does to meet Spuda and prevent what would have been another opportunity for the Titans.
And D-Bank trying to move up with that clear.
Oh,
now,
Danny.
Yeah, trying to get that 50. He gets that past Lucy. It could be another goal. Spuda gets a shot, and Too Fast pre-jumps, and he makes that save.
Danny has been everywhere. I mean, he is so speedy for Cal State Fullerton. You think he's out of the play because you just saw him a moment ago on the ball, and all of a sudden he's right where the ball is headed next. Spuda's going to get a boost star or a steal, but might not be all that useful if they score here. North Texas playing the possession game. D-Bank around Riddles, but Spuda there using that boost that he stole out of the North Texas end makes the stop. And that's big for the Titans, holding on towards the final minute, almost expanding their lead. Danny looking for Spuda to come up, and he might have come up a little too far, too early. Here goes Too Fast with the whole team behind him, and Riddles knocks him off the play.
And for North Texas, who are, coming out here with a lot of energy, they're being outshot right now from CSU, but also the score difference here between this and game one is very stunning. North Texas struggling here on the offensive front, and now it's looking like they're starting to run out of time.
Big demolition on Too Fast, forces D-Bank into action, but a ball thrown away in front. It's loose, and Riddles got there ahead of D-Bank. Oh, a golden opportunity. That goes by the wayside. Now Lucia's got to play this away. Too Fast and D-Bank called on to keep this within reach. North Texas weathers the storm. 10 seconds left. Got to go the length of the field, but they also have to stop Spuda. Well, the crossbar stopped him. No time left for the mean green, but they got this out. D-Bank to tie the game. No! Follow up this low in front, and the Titans hang on.
Oh my goodness, comes down to the final seconds. California State Fullerton gets away with game two. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Wow is that. I cannot believe that.
They watched this ball come out. They saw, what was it, D-Bank at the last moment. And there's like, well, I guess we're going to over. Oh, I guess we're not. Okay. We take those. If you're Cal State Fullerton, Riddles has the only 2 goals for the Titans. And he's at the bottom of the scoreboard for the team because his teammates were forced to play a lot, and I mean a lot, of defense. Only credited with 5 saves, but they did a lot on the back end to keep North Texas off the scoreboard.
You know, for me, North Texas, I mean, that last chance that we saw in front was like one of the clearest chances they've had all game long. And Lucia had a net to shoot at. And it's not as if the placement was off. The shot was on, but the fact he didn't get a lot of power behind it. And it makes me a little nervous for North Texas because that was a pressure situation. If this series continues on and it does go the route that we think with a Game 5 situation, then you start to wonder if that's a worrying trend going into that particular match. But it's still time for North Texas to turn this around. This is going to be a big Game 3.
So Riddles is now taking an extra moment between games this time. We had D-Bank getting a little difficulty getting settled in for the series. Now Riddles restarting his router. So we'll have, you know, slight little rain delay here before we go into DF8 Stadium. But it's about what we expected, Daz, when we both figured this would go 5 some way or another, and 1-1 through 2 games, effectively turning this into a best of 3. Shout out to Dude with the Nose.
Okay. Okay. Now, one thing that I
love getting that reaction out of you. It's great.
It's just one thing that is, you know, what I was gonna say about the whole connection thing is, you know, yesterday we were talking about there was one series that we did. I think it was the last series we did that a team was just taking a long time with doing ping tests for, or not ping tests. We ended up swapping servers, and I said, you know, at some point, it may be your internet and not the server. And I feel like today, everyone in CRL took me literally, and now they're all restarting their routers. So,
of course. Yeah. If if you're not performing, it's the equipment. It's, it's never user error with professionals in anything. You know, you miss a shot in billiards, you break your cue stick. You know, it's never you, but alas. We are waiting for Riddles to get back in. Should be pretty soon. I mean, I've restarted a router a few times before, and it doesn't take this long. Come on, Riddles.
I had to restart.
Oh, you had to reboot the whole PC.
Sure, fair enough. It doesn't take that long, but you know, maybe this is an issue that opens a lot of. I don't know why like players in a tournament go and take that risk. I feel like that's too risky because, like you said, what if you have to restart it again? And then, you know, at that point, you just don't have internet, you know?
Yeah,
so
you power cycle. You're like, wait 10 seconds. And it's like 1, 2, 3. Let's start over. 1. Like, come on. Get in here, Riddles. So, hey, Cal State Fullerton is going to hope that Riddles is ready to go for the rest of this series. Because, again, he's got the only 2 goals that they've scored. It was not enough in game 1. They made it hold up in game 2. Danny and Spuda doing a lot on the back line. That is not going to hold up against North Texas. LSU, These guys are not. You know, they're not going to be able to run it up on the mean green. So, you know, something's got to give here. They've got to be able to get downfield and get more opportunities. They just feel a little hesitant to cross that center line and commit on the offensive end.
You know, it's funny that you say hesitant too, because for me, I'm not going to say it's the opposite. I think the hesitation does come from maybe a little bit of overthinking on their end, right? Well, one of the reasons why I say that is because there's also double commits that happen. Remember, in the last game, Spuda was caught in a 1v3 where he had the entire North Texas team charging at him. He was able to dodge a demo and make a save. But that comes from 2 members, Riddles and Danny, overcommitting on the sidewall. Where, okay, maybe something's off with the communication here, or maybe, you know, everyone's overthinking and people are putting themselves into the same situation accidentally. Whatever it is, I mean, like I said, they need to get that sorted as well, right? It's a confidence and it's definitely a communication thing from them. I think if they get those 2 things to a lock and the rotation's a lot better, they could actually make this a very competitive series. Take it early against North Texas because North Texas hasn't been looking good on offense. We have all the members in the lobby. Game 3 coming up on your screen to see who's going to put this series on match point.
Big tie-breaking game in an early but important series in this long CRL season. Lucia got this centered for D-Bank. Riddles and Danny crisscross high above the goal. It'll be Riddles beaten out by Lucia this time. And all Danny can do to just throw this back towards midfield. Lucia, all right, if he scores here, I'll do a cartwheel. He did not. Thank you. And Spuda will clear it away.
Okay, glad we didn't get to see that. Though there was a part of me that wanted to. I really wanted to see the Stacks cartwheel.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime situation. Okay. But
all right, fair enough.
That being said,
look at Danny. Oh, no, wow. I always have such high hopes when I see Danny up in the air. I think something awesome is going to happen, and all he does is just pop it up in place.
Yeah, he's been solid, at least like getting some midfield 50s or just keeping possession in favor of California State. Haven't really seen him on the scoreboard yet, although we definitely would like to. And he's getting more comfortable in the air. I mean, look at all the time he's taking now. Like the last 2 opportunities he's had on the ball, he's done really solid work, but needs a little bit more of that because it's still 0-0 in game 3.
Too fast. Waiting on that midfield boost, got it, and got the ball on his way back. Now Lucia, just a little token shot on target, collected by Spuda. He avoids Lucia from behind. Is Spuda going to score this? No. Trying to set up Riddles, and Lucia made the stop.
Riddles was so delayed, and I feel like part of that is thinking that there's no way Spuda gets that pass too, and he did. And for Spuda, he's wondering, okay, where's my middleman at? I need somebody there to put a shot on. Danny might be that guy, but Lucia's there. It's going to pop out, and D-Bank's going to try to hop on top of it. And again, midfield given up by California State, and we see North Texas on offense looking for some demos as they can try to see if they get a goal on the board.
As much as Spuda has been a demolition target for North Texas, It feels like Too Fast has been the target for Fullerton, but it's Lucia scoring on an empty net as everybody shifts right, and nobody remembered there's a net to defend.
Yeah, that's Spuda and Riddles that are on the commit there. And, I mean, no one home, no one in net. So, again, just seems like those issues are starting to happen once again. But this time, North Texas take advantage of the opportunity. And now, as we approach the bottom half of this game, they have the lead.
What can D-Bank do with this? Nothing. He's cut off by Danny. Now Riddles watching this run angle down, but Lucia's right there. Excellent backboard defense and team defense coming out from North Texas as they at least repel this attack, get set up to maybe start an attack of their own. At least got a shot on, but that's not great out of Too Fast. Spuda's all over it. Thrown around in front, but Lucia's right there.
Oh, that one's going to roll away. Riddles last back. And does good work making sure he knocks that into the corner. Very good, because North Texas can't immediately turn that into a shot. And again, they have more work to do. And Too Fast. Oh, he's in the air for that. Good save from Riddles. More pressure as D-Bag puts that one on target. But Danny there.
And that right there is why they're putting such an emphasis on taking Too Fast off the field. He's burned him twice, and he's going to burn him again. Lucia rolls it home, but there was nobody back for this clear.
Again, another double commit between Spuda and Riddles, and it's an open net chance. At this point, California State have just been making error after error, and North Texas is more than welcome to shoot at open nets all day.
And he comes up empty here, but Spuda's right there. It's an opportunity on a tight angle, and he did not convert. Very similar to what Riddle scored in game 1. And boy, that would have been great for the Titans to get right back in this game. But instead, they're looking way, way up at the mean green still. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I mean, that looked cool. Problem is, nobody else followed with him. They were so far back. And there's that hesitance again, just to commit on the offensive end. Hey, you're down 2. You got to take those opportunities wherever you can get them.
It's tough, right? Because they've been trying to do that, but it leads to the double commits, and they've been getting burned off the double commits. So now I think in their minds, they're saying, okay, we need to spread out a little bit more, but now they're spread out too much. They can't. It's really hard for the Titans to find that sweet spot. That's exactly what they need. Riddles will get a flick on, and Spuda will rotate in. This may be the chance. Danny, top corner, bar down, but not in. D-Bank will get the clear out. Spuda will get a demo. Riddles follow up. Lucia's there. It's the best chance we've seen from CSUF all game. It's just not enough. Maybe this one is it. It is. Spuda will finally get the goal.
I could not believe that did not go in. And then, again, it took so long for anybody else to come up. It's like you mentioned. They're in their own heads here. but they got 22 seconds to try and tie this up. Big kickoff out of Riddles. You saw Spuda cheating up. Now it's all on Danny. Needs another touch. Needs some support. Spuda's still so far back. There's 22 seconds. Oh my goodness, 7 seconds now. Lucia looking to put it away. He can't. Too fast thought about it. Maybe that might cost North Texas. Oh, what a bump from Lucia from behind. And North Texas is on match point.
North Texas gets at a match point with some early goals. They were able to really just hold off CSUF for the rest of the game there. But you could see towards the end where they finally found the rotation. Everything was looking good for them, but it happened too late, and the kickoff play just did not work out, a little too slow. So we move on to Utopia. Game number 4, North Texas. I don't know if they necessarily come away with a game like they did now, especially if California State Fullerton can get that rotation solid. Because when they play consistent, we saw it in game 2. That's how they won. They need to go back to that if they want to have a chance of sticking in this series.
Well, there is still, in theory, a lot of Rocket League left to play here. Especially if the Titans can finally kind of arrive in this series. They've been close every game. You look at it, 2-1, 1-0, 2-1. It has been a slow, grindy, defensive battle, but they absolutely have to win here to prolong the series.
Oh, there's
Danny!
Danny!
Get the opening shot. It's Danny getting his first goal.
And what a goal. A perfect time. Danny sees an opportunity, puts a shot through, and D-Bay can't get there in time. California State start this one off with the first goal.
It had to come sooner or later. So Danny's on the board, but does it matter? Oh, it does. Riddles makes the save. Talked about him not really doing a whole lot on the defensive end in the early stages of this series. It was all offense for Riddles. He's made some critical stops that have kept Fullerton in this series.
Oh, and they're playing with different speed there. That's a good 50. Riddles won't be able to get a read in time. Danny will try to play that in mid. Riddles goes again, but that's a whiff. And Lucia will just lob it in front. Spuda waiting for a chance to go in, trying to buy the team some time. And Danny does turn a 50 that. And now North Texas slowly pushing upfield, and Riddles gets one more touch, and it's a good one before he gets demoed.
You just wonder when you're going to see it out of Danny here. Spuda will clear this away. He got the goal here. He had a hat trick as part of a 4-goal performance against Texas Tech just yesterday. Big reason why they were able to just house the Red Raiders. Lucia now trying to center here, but there is Danny making the stop. D-Bank and Too Fast on that challenge, so everybody's got to rush all the way back for the mean green. It should have been an opportunity for the Titans, but they couldn't capitalize. And we continue to go back and forth with this game still teetering in the balance. That's a great challenge by Too Fast, trying to set up D-Bank, and it's all he could do to even get a touch. Just could not get around for a shot.
Yeah,
maybe another chance? No, Spuda with another stop. This is just high and cleared away again by Spuda.
My goodness, D-Bank's so close, but that one went off the bar. Look at all this pressure from North Texas, but they can't get around California State. Titans are trying to move downfield here, but cut off again. Lucia looking for Too Fast. Danny goes off the back wall, and a much-needed clear to buy the team a little bit of time.
D-Bank trying to dive bomb down onto this, and Lucia got a piece of that off of Spuda. Now here goes Too Fast. Lucia got the demolition, and Spuda to the rescue again. 3 saves in this last minute alone, and then they almost turn it into a goal on the other side. An acrobatic save out of Too Fast.
But they can't hold on to offensive possession, and North Texas are starting to charge again. You see the demo. That's going to be a big thing. How many opportunities are North Texas going to get? At some point, if they keep shooting, one of these is going to fall.
Law of averages would say so. Maybe here. Oh, Spuda got back again. Boy, Spuda, he doesn't have the goal in this game, but let me tell you something. He is the only reason that Cal State Fullerton isn't down about 4 goals right now, and he's trying to Add another way downfield. He'll give way to Riddles against Too Fast. Danny coming on, and he's got 2.
Look at Riddles here. So he picks up the ball, and they have to worry to see if he has a dodge. He doesn't. Plays the 50 by spinning to the side. It goes straight out to Danny, who gets an open look and a perfect shot. He's got 2 goals out of 3 shots this game, and it couldn't be at a more helpful time.
He was very quiet on the offensive end coming into this game, but he's shown up when the Titans need him most. Lucia just guiding that off to the corner. Got D-Bank in the middle. Danny makes the stop. And the Titans can get boosted up and reset for another oncoming North Texas attack. But that one wavered off to the side. And Danny's going to have this ball with a ton of time and space to work with. Not so much boost. Now Fullerton might be getting just a little antsy on the offensive end. They can afford to with a 2-goal lead, but it's not a safe lead, especially in CRL.
Yeah, and that one close out Riddles. No, Too Fast denies. North Texas in a bad spot. Riddles will pick up the 3rd goal. California State Fullerton running away with game 4.
I told you it'd go 5 games. Never a doubt.
You it would go 5 games.
You did tell me. I just agreed. You're right. Either way, Cal State Fullerton has come roaring back into this series. They do still have to defend here for the final minute. Again, we said no lead is safe, but they're feeling pretty confident now as they've added another insurance goal, but D-Bank with a missile is just a little bit high, and that was the opportunity for North Texas to at least try and hang on in this game. Instead, Cal State Fullerton begins their victory lap in the final 30 seconds. Oh my goodness. This is more like a victory jaunt.
They're still going. They're trying to grab that goal. That would have been a nice drive downtown. I'll give them that one. But 15 seconds left here. North Texas. This is not good. We said that if California State Fullerton gets the rotation correct, it was going to be a problem because North Texas only scored when there were misplays on the Titans' end of the field, and there were none. So now we go into a game 5 where everything is in the air.
CSU has not won a game in this series where they've let North Texas score. 2 shutouts. Games 2 and 4 going their way. When they do let North Texas score, first of all, they normally score first. And then they have a tough time playing catch-up the whole way. We'll see what happens in Game 5. Something has to give between the Titans and the Mean Green. Again, our second to last match of the night. Man, oh man. The end of the night, I love West Coast CRL because the Western Conference always delivers. There's always something entertaining going on. Sure, LSU North Texas last night, that wasn't quite the match. But at least it was entertaining. We got to see LSU absolutely pop off. Now we're seeing something very similar out of Cal State, especially in that last game.
And this one, I mean, North Texas is taking all the time they can get before going into this next one. They want to talk things over, make sure they understand what happened, so there's no breakdowns moving forward. But now everybody's loading up. We're going to get Game 5 between North Texas and California State Fullerton to see which one's going to come out with this series. Didn't think we would get 5 games this way with these back and forth, disparaging differences. But alas, here we go.
Throw it all out the window going into Game 5. One game determines so much. Not as much as it used to, but still critically important, and Riddles gets the opening goal for the Titans.
Look at this. Spuda brings this one up so well. That's a great 50 in front of 2. And Riddles, open look at the net. He doesn't miss those opportunities.
All important head-to-head value at stake as well here in Game 5. Had a great start for Cal State Fullerton. Lucia now trying to answer back, but that's blocked to the corner. That shot sails high. Follow up off the crossbar. Nobody's going to be back, but Riddles has pushed it off to the side. It was all he could do just to catch up to that ball. I don't think he realized just how far away the North Texas defense was. Now they're nowhere to be found. I think the North Texas defense was in Oklahoma as it's 2-0.
The momentum shift, though, for Fullerton. They are diving at these balls. North Texas does not know how to respond. Like you said, the defense over in Narnia or something, they can't get a handle on this early. It's only the first 30 seconds, and they look sloppy.
Too fast up the ladder. The good thing about, just Rocket League in general, there's still 4 minutes left, and as fast as this game is, and as good as North Texas is, they are not out of it, though. That is not going to help us. Too Fast goes well away from the ball. Now Danny, backboard play, and this time Lucia's there to sweep it away, but Danny stole the boost right out from under Lucia, and that's going to be huge for the Titans. They may get another goal out of it, but Lucia made the stop. He's not working with a whole lot. He's got to utilize the ramps and the walls. And he is still just looking for any pennies he can get. He even drove over the corner hoping it would spawn, and Riddles almost got a huge dunk that, who knows, it might have been the knockout blow with 3.5 minutes left.
You can tell North Texas are starved right now. Riddles gets that one through, but Lucia is there. And they finally are able to get some space, but for how long? As Spuda booms that, trying to look for a quick follow-up. Now it's a battle for midfield possession. Man, oh man. Like you said, there's still plenty of Rocket League to go, but you gotta wonder what North Texas have left in the tank, if anything.
Spuda lob for Riddles. Too Fast and D-Bank trying to rush downfield. They have a numbers advantage. Too Fast lobs one through, and it's gonna fall.
And there it is. They get the breakthrough at the right time here. They force Danny in a tough spot. He makes a poor touch, and Too Fast able to clean it up. That's what we want to see more from North Texas. It's a 1-goal game.
Now remember how important your psyche and your mental game is here in Rocket League. They gave up a goal because of a little bit of an overcommit. They got beat on a counterattack. Will they be hesitant as they were earlier in the series? Certainly doesn't look like it right now. They seem undeterred as they are all over the North Texas Mean Green after the kickoff. Spuda now. Doesn't have anybody to center to. Trying to delay as long as he can, but Too Fast bombs it away. D-Bank was trying to get there, but Riddles beat him to the punch.
And Danny before the demo. This clearance to the corner gives Fullerton so much more room to grab boost. And now they're moving downfield. It's a wide open look, but Danny on top of D-Bank on top of the ball as Danny goes for the 50. And that's going to keep North Texas in a comfortable spot at the moment.
Too Fast gives way to Lucia to make the challenge. Again, no panic on the side of North Texas. They've been in this spot many times. Too Fast was waiting patiently for a ball that never got back to him. And now it'll be Spuda to take over. Riddle still forward. And it's D-Bank who barely makes the stop, keeping North Texas in this game and series.
And the Titans want to stay on top of this ball as quickly as they can. You can see them going for a lot, not giving North Texas much time. And now North Texas get time, but they don't know what to do with it. Too Fast gives away possession, and D-Bank will have to try to help them regain that room that they got. Because again, now you start looking at the clock if you're the Mean Green. 1:30, and they're still down by 1.
This shot easily blocked by Too Fast. Can North Texas break out of their zone again and catch Fullerton napping? Lucia's going to have to read this ball, and that was a tough read to make. This will just go all the way across, try to play keep away from the Titans. Good luck. A lot of speed on that side of the field, a lot of confidence now that they've come from behind and forced this 5th game. Riddles drops it right to Spuda. That could have gone sideways real quick. Now Too Fast going after Danny, couldn't get him. And North Texas has to go back to the drawing board. Less than a minute to go. Lucia trying to get over to Too Fast, but he had to peel off the play.
And now it's a race of speed. Too Fast is faster, and D-Bank finds it! Tied up game!
Wow. I did not give Too Fast any chance at getting this ball through, but he beat Riddles to that last touch. And D-Bank is right there where he needed to be. And after all that work over the last 9 minutes from Cal State Fullerton to try and come back in this series, we're right back where we started. Now it's a 40-second series. Overtime is looming here in Game 5. Big demolition on Spuda. That forces Riddles to the play, but he whiffed, and D-Bank goes under the bar.
Unbelievable! Clutch factor here with D-Bank. The ball bounces. There's a lapse of hesitation on the blue side, and it all doesn't matter because D-Bank found the shot that he needed. North Texas up by 1, 30 seconds left.
You can't say dog with hat without whiff. That one's going to sting. Here goes Spuda, trying to make up for it. Over one, double, it's still there, but D-Bank clears away. Oh, it would have been a storybook finish to try and force OT. They still have a chance. Riddle's trying to get in the way of D-Bank. 10 seconds to go. They've got to keep this ball in the zone. Too fast, looking to bomb it away. It's not out of the zone. Now it finally is. It forces Fullerton all the way back. No time on the clock. And North Texas survives an absolute scare from the Titans.
And you got to give a lot of credit here to D-Bank. D-Bank comes up big when he's needed to. Too fast, though, facilitating to get that goal late in the game. And then afterwards, D-Bank is there when he's needed to be, finds a lapse in the defense, pushes home the game-winning goal, and North Texas were able to hold off for the Titans for the remainder of the game. Again, you had it going differently in Game 5. The reason why I went with North Texas, because like you had said earlier, they've been in that situation before. They did not let up.
A stark reminder that there is no substitute whatsoever for experience. That's what North Texas has. They've been in that spot many, many times. They are only going to get better as the season rolls on. And this is one they're going to look back on, I think, and realize this series absolutely mattered. When we start looking at tiebreakers and playoff scenarios and all of that near the end of the season, this is one that is going to stick with both of these teams. A missed opportunity for Cal State Fullerton. Big, big win for the North Texas Mean Green. We've got one more coming your way. Once again, we close things out with Missouri S&T. They did not do so well against Arizona last night, but they got the Wazoo Cougars coming your way right after this.